you are ready to finally stop feeling stiff and flexible and to get the agility you need to be in peak performance for a roller derby, you are in the right place. For those of you that know me, I've worked with hundreds of roller derby athletes all over the world, people probably just like you, and I have helped those clients do a lot of amazing things when it comes to the sport, when it comes to their flexibility, when it comes to their skills on the track. So my guess is if you are one of the hundreds of people that signed up for this Facebook Live, then you are probably struggling with things like limited range of motion. You might be dealing with things like constantly having like muscle strains. You might be finding that it's hard to recover quickly. Maybe you're not able to perform your best. You can't do crossovers or things like that because you have too much stiffness. Comment in the chat if you are one of those people. You can just say, it's me. Yeah, Rachel, here we go again. We're doing it again. I did this an hour early, but now we're doing it on time. So if that's you, type a 1 in the chat. I'm just moving this little guy over here. Boom. Sorry, I'm just getting my tech things. There we go. Perfect. Now I can see you, all of your comments. Yep, that's you guys, right? Not flexible, and it's super frustrating, right? Because you're getting hurt all the time. You know, especially I get a lot of people that like they can't do crossovers because they don't have like the ability to get like their leg up and over, and it's really frustrating. But it goes a lot deeper than this, right? It's more than just being like physically uncomfortable. And my guess is that if you've been at this for a little while, you probably know that if you don't work on this stuff now, you're going to have a bigger injury, which is probably going to make you miss a lot more practices. Or if it's a performance thing, you're going to end up like not getting rostered. You're going to be missing out on track time. And so it ends up that like what's at stake is essentially your progress, your goals, and your overall fun having on the track, right? And this is the thing that I don't want for you. What I really don't want is for you to miss out on opportunities to get better at derby and have more fun because you're not flexible, okay? I don't want you watching from the sidelines because you're like chronically on the injured list, okay? So that is why I believe that flexibility is an incredibly important part of the sport. It is one of the foundations. Okay, but I don't know if you know, but there's actually 2 different kinds of flexibility that we're going to talk about today. There's physical flexibility, the ability to flex your body in certain directions, but also mental flexibility. How do you shift as a skater? Okay, so for those of you that are brand new, never met me before, hi, my name is Chrissy Crash. I have been playing roller derby since 2006. I have played bank track, I have played flat track, I have played in WFTDA playoffs and championships with Angel City Derby. I have won bank track world champion or world chap championships with LA Derby Dolls. I basically have over 18 years of experience as a roller derby skater. I have over 15 years of experience in sports nutrition and performance coaching, and I have helped hundreds of roller derby skaters enhance their performance. And it's just something that I am so passionate about doing, which is why I do lives like these that also become podcasts. In case you haven't listened to the Chrissy Crash podcast, that's out there too. But the reason why I make these is because I want you to get better at derby. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through some of the fundamentals of flexibility, and we'll go through some of the movements that you guys can be doing. We'll also talk about some of the mindset pieces that you need to shift in order to be more flexible as a skater. And so I'm going to walk you through that. And then at the end, it might feel like a little bit of information, like, oh my God, Chrissy, this is so much. So at the end, I will also walk you through how you can get support, how you can execute this stuff faster. So don't worry, at the end, I'll kind of walk you through what your next steps can be. So that way you're not feeling like super overwhelmed. Okay, so let's get into it. So basically, I want to show you how to be more flexible for derby. Okay, and like I said, there's 2 kinds of there's 2 kinds of flexibility. So comment in the chat box if you remember what they are. That's right, physical flexibility and mental flexibility. So what is physical flexibility? So physical flexibility refers to things like range of motion for a joint or a couple of joints, right? This is whether you can get down into a solid derby position. This is whether you can open up your feet for a transition. Okay, this is going to improve your agility. This is going to reduce your risk of injury. This is going to enhance your performance. Okay, so this matters because we do a lot of squatting and skating, and we're holding ourselves in these positions for a really long time. Okay, and so it's important that we're also stretching this stuff out so that we're not getting injured. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through sort of what I believe are the must-do stretches as a roller derby skater. Are you ready? We're going to do it. Here we go. Let me find us a good spot. All right, I'm going to put you on this chair. Oh. And now let me make this guy bigger. Oh no, did I just close it? Oh no, there it is. Okay, thank God. Thought I just closed you guys out. All right. So the most important things that you should be doing as a skater, say hello to Brisket. Hi, buddy. He's unimpressed. So most important things that you want to be doing, typically it's going to be a lot of hip flexibility. It's going to be forward hip flexibility, the ability to open up your hips in this direction, right? Getting this guy nice and open. So one of the most important ones is just simply a forward lunge. Getting into this position, no matter how high or low you can do it. Some of you might only be able to go here because this is so tight. As you get more flexible, you'll be able to get a lot lower where you can bring this leg back a lot further, opening this thing up. So as you're doing this, some of the most important things to think about is tilting your hips forward. You don't want to be here, right? Because then you're just stretching your calf. Bringing the hips, tilting them forward. Weight is in the heel of this foot, glute is engaged, and then stretching, almost like dropping your knee forward towards the floor is going to open this up. So to make it even more open, take both arms up, big breath in, and then put your right hand, if it's your left leg back, right hand on your right side, and then lean over. So as I do this lean, I'm pulling all of this up and over, okay? Taking a couple deep breaths. You can come up on the toe of the back foot and then down again. Okay, so you would do it a couple times. You could go up, down, and just bringing that arm over, ooh, coming up and down. These are both going to stretch and open this hip. Ooh. Now I'm gonna have really one really open hip. So that's one that if flexibility is important to you, you should be doing that every single day, before and after every single practice. Okay, the next one is stretching our hips. So I think I've done videos on this several times, but it's so freaking important, is to stretch your hips. So you can do it one of two ways. If you're not flexible at all, you can sit up like this. You can put your foot on top of your knee and then bring your foot in and then just lean forward and breathe. You're gonna feel this right here, okay? So breathing. As you breathe, you're pushing this knee energetically away. Okay, so this is like level 1. Level 2, if you've got that one down, is to lay down on your back. Same thing, heel goes over, flex this foot, and then grab behind this thigh, bring it in, and put your head back on the ground. And then breathe. So what I'm doing two things. I'm pushing this knee towards my chest, and at the same time with my brain, I'm pushing this knee away. So I'm thinking about bringing my foot like this. So breathing here. Big breaths, always needed for this one. The hips are pretty emotional. They're like homes of like a lot of our emotional stuff too. So if stuff comes up while you're doing this, or if you just immediately want to get out of it, it's super normal. You just got to breathe through it. Now, if you've got this one down, then bring this heel in, hands go in front of the shin, and then bring your head down. And with this, you might have to like rock it a little side to side. Again, keeping both feet flexed. As they say in yoga, inhaling to create space. No, inhaling to do something, exhaling to create space. Basically, you fill up you fill it up, you stretch it out by inhaling, and when you relax, you go a little deeper. Inhale to make space, relax to go a little deeper. That sounds about right. So again, another one that you should be doing on a regular basis. Third one, final one. You've probably also seen my videos of this. If you struggle with transitions, getting down into a yogi squat. So feet are wider than hip width distance apart. If you struggle getting down here, to start, you can put like something like a towel, like a rolled up towel behind your heels. But the goal is that you're getting all the way down. So you might have to kind of work yourself into it like this, right? Side to side to get your feet to come flat. And then once you're flat, your goal is to bring your chest up. So I'm pushing my knees, my elbows into my knees, and then I'm trying to bring my chest up. Okay, you might be here right now. You might be here, in which case, put a towel underneath your heels, and it's going to allow you to get further down. Don't do it like this with nothing under your heels. Put something under those heels, and it will allow you to get further down. Same thing. Big deep breaths. So important. I would say those three, and obviously touching your toes is pretty freaking important. So you want to get a little hamstrings in there. So super simple. If you can't touch your toes as you're doing a hamstring stretch, if you can't touch your toes, if this does not work for you, bend your knees, put your stomach on your knees, and then relax everything down. You're still gonna get that stretch up the back of the legs. Big breaths. And then as you get more flexible, you'll be able to start standing it up. Oh my God, it's like my favorite stretch. And then the last one is just a quad stretch, which is also pretty self-explanatory. But mistakes I see people doing with a quad stretch. A lot of times you'll see people like this. This is not stretching your quad, okay? Bring your knees together and then press your hip forward. So knees are together, right? And then my goal, see how there's this line going like this? My goal is to bring my hip forward and my knee back. So I see a straight line straight down. This is stretching your quad, okay? This is not stretching your quad. This is, okay? So if you do these 5 things, you will be way less injury prone, able to do way more awesome things on the track. Comment in the chat with a 1 if this is helpful, or comment in the chat with which one of these movements are you committed to adding in. You can say all of them, you can say some of them, but this is the thing, is it's really simple, right? I'm sure I did not show you a single thing that you have not already seen before. You're like, yeah, Chrissy Crash, I know I should stretch my quads. Yeah, I know I should stretch my hamstrings. I know that, like, you know, I should probably do that yogi squat thing and that like figure 4 thing, right? But comment in the chat with, that's me if you don't do them every single day. That's me if you don't do them every single day. You can also type called out, because I'm calling you out if you don't do them every single day. Because that's the thing, is like a stretch is just a stretch and doesn't mean shit unless you actually do it. So as an athlete, you should be doing these things at least once a day. For sure after practice, but at least once a day. So if you're training on your off skates days, so likely you probably have a Monday, Wednesday, Friday practice, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, or whatever it is. You've practiced 3 days a week, probably, or somewhere, maybe 2. So you would be getting it done then. And then you should, in theory, if you're serious about your sport, you should be cross-training 3 days a week, which would be another 3 days that you're getting in those stretches. Holding each stretch for like 30 seconds, all that stuff, right? Yeah, Nikki says I pay for it, right? So if you have a solid cross-training schedule and a solid derby schedule, that's 6 days a week that you could be doing these stretches, and it's going to make the difference between you making the team and not. It's going to make the difference between you getting injured and not. Okay, so I mean, imagine, right? Imagine being the kind of roller derby athlete that focuses on this stuff, has the discipline to put it in, and then all of a sudden your performance gets better. All of a sudden you're able to get through that hole a little bit faster. All of a sudden you're able to get across the track a little bit better because your flexibility got better, right? It wasn't about the strength. It wasn't about the speed. It was that you became a more bendy human. And as a result of that, you saw your performance on the track increase. We see this with skaters in our program all the time. Okay. Oh, great question. Robin asked how long for each. So I would say hold each stretch for about 30 seconds is great. Maybe like 10 big deep breaths, you know, big in, big out is perfect. Okay. If you want to hold it longer, hold it longer. The longer, the better, but minimum 30 seconds for each one. Okay. So, awesome. So we got it. Perfect. So mental flexibility for roller derby is also really important, right? And so what this means is being able to adapt to changing situations, to think creatively, and to stay focused under pressure. In derby, like those split-second decisions are the difference between winning and losing the game. The difference between your coach seeing you kicking ass at practice and seeing you hesitate, right? And so it's important that as a skater, you're also building mental flexibility, okay? And being able to, number one, anticipate opponents' moves, but also being able to be reactive during gameplay. Okay, so ways that you can do this, I think one of the best ways to work on mental flexibility is to work on mindfulness techniques. Because mentally rehearsing some of these scary, fast, complicated situations over and over and over again allows you in the moment to be a lot more calm about them. So if you have a game coming up, if you have a scrimmage coming up, if you have a minimum skills tryout coming up, right? How much time do you spend mentally rehearsing those games? And how much time do you spend worrying about failing at those games? Go ahead and put in the chat. Are you a worrier or are you a visualizer? Worrying being thinking about doing it wrong, visualizer being thinking about doing it right. How much do you go over and over and over in your head crushing it versus failing? Because what I find is that most people spend the majority of the time leading up to a stressful game, situation, practice, job interview, whatever, new relationship, right? And we worry. And here's the thing. Mental practice is the same as physical practice. They have done so much research on the fact that if you mentally rehearse, for example, if you mentally rehearse doing bicep curls, right? Mentally rehearse doing bicep curls and actually do bicep curls, guess what? Both groups increase their strength. Both groups can lift more after a period of time, okay? And so it works the same mentally. If you imagine yourself in those situations and you imagine your kid getting, I'm like, okay, so before practice, I'm gonna sit here, I'm gonna close my eyes and I'm gonna imagine, okay, I'm getting stuck behind the jammer. Okay, so I'm gonna hook my shoulder on their shoulder and I'm gonna like whip my hip around and I'm gonna get past. Right? If you just rehearse those situations over and over and again, you will actually get better at practice. One of the times that I used to do this a lot, and this has really helped me with my training, this has helped me in my roller derby training, this has helped me in my surfing, is after I do something right on the track, on a wave, whatever, is I take a couple of seconds, like coming back off the track, for example, after a jam, and I'll rerun over in my head the thing that worked really, really well, right? If I did a really great block and then like stuck it on the outside line, I'm gonna rerun that over in my mind over and over and over again, right? And that's gonna help me be better at it in the long run. Now, similarly, if I did something really shitty and fucked it up, what most people do is they rerun that over in their mind over and over again. And guess what that does? It doesn't help with shit. Right? You're practicing the thing that you fucked up, okay? So it's really, really important that if it's something that didn't go well, that you, instead of watching it over and over again in your mind, that you are either forgetting about it or you're mentally rehearsing what it would have looked like if it had gone right, okay? So mental rehearsal helps you be more flexible on the track. Comment in the chat with got it if this is making sense. Yes, Amanda just said it exactly. My problem is that I replay my failures over and over. Amanda, imagine if you realized that you are just doing reps of fucking it up over and over and over. And you're actually building your likelihood that the next time the situation happens again, that will be your response. The thing that you did in that game, scrimmage, practice will now become your default response because you're rehearsing it over and over again. Okay. So this is a key thing that we work on with our crew in Crash Course, because it's not just about the physical game. This is why I think what we do is so much more important than just going to a personal trainer, because you have to train your mental game as much as you train your physical game. Because you can do all the squats in the world. If your mindset is shit, you're going to have a bad game. And then you're not going to have fun. And then you're going to hate roller derby, right? And no one wants to hate roller derby. So imagine if you just committed to taking the next couple of months and you said, every day I'm going to work on my physical and my mental flexibility. I'm going to do visualizations. I'm going to do stretches. Imagine where you would be like 4 months from now, right? So for those of you that have been around for a little bit, maybe not, if you have checked out any of like my content, you've probably seen like testimonials from people that are in our program. And the big impact that it can make from, getting onto the team, passing minimum skills, getting more track time, having more fun, feeling more confident. That's what's on the other side of you guys doing this stuff over and over and over again. Okay. So, at the end of the day, like I have given you right now everything that you need to go out and make this happen, to be more flexible, to be more mentally flexible. This is it. You can take this and you can run with it. Okay. If you want to go faster, then it's a good idea to do it with help. And like I said at the beginning of this, I can walk you through how you can get a little bit of support in doing it faster. So we offer, for our Crash Course community, we offer you guys free strategy sessions. And so I've set aside some hours this week with Coach Pam, who is our strategy coach, and she will walk you through how to get clear on your goals for the next 6 months, how to identify and overcome roadblocks so that you can really be in peak performance, and how to create a personalized 12-week roadmap for your progress. Okay, so if that's you, I'm gonna put in the comments right now, I just put the link to that. So if you're gonna schedule one, if you could do me a favor, just click on it right now. Oh, it just corrected it for me. That's super weird. Don't click on that one. That one's wrong. That one's right. Can I delete this? Yes. Okay, so the one with Crash Course with a K, this one's right. So you can go there right now. We have a limited spots for this week, but go ahead and click on it right now. Book a time for this week. After you do it, just comment in the chat box with booked, so I know that you were in there and that we know you have in the calendar. On that scheduler, just make sure that you put flexibility workshop in the subject so that she knows that you're coming from here, so that we can kind of focus on the flexibility aspect of things. So go ahead, you can just click that link, fill it out, put flexibility workshop in the subject line, and then we'll get you guys set up so you can get clear on your goals for the next 6 months, look at the roadblocks that are stopping you from getting there, and then get you going on like a roadmap for your progress, okay? Because at the end of the day, right, this is the time to take action. I'm giving you the information, right? So the question is, what are you gonna do with it, right? For most people, they watch this stuff and they go exactly back to doing what they're doing. And so my challenge for you is to do something different than what you've always done. Whether that's, signing up for a strategy session, whether it's putting this stuff into your calendar, which by the way, we work with you a lot on scheduling and calendars and all those things. But yeah, so at the end of the day, like if you're here and you just spent the next half hour with me talking about flexibility, it's really, really important that you're not just consuming more content on the internet. We don't want you to get brain fat, right? We don't want to just consume stuff and not use it. Okay, so yeah, I'll put the link here. If you're watching the recording, please comment below with recording so that I know that you watched the recording. And then I've also put the link in, I also put the link up top in the comments or the post itself. So if you're watching the recording, you can hop on there too. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I hope that you got a lot out of this. Flexibility is such a foundational part of roller derby and really staying injury free. I know this might feel like basics, and it is, but the reality is if you're not doing the basics, the fundamental foundational things, then all of that other fancy stuff doesn't mean shit. Okay. It's not going to get you there if you're not doing the foundational pieces. And I am a firm believer in teaching the foundational pieces. So I love you guys. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you later. Bye.